on the current topic that has been given for the high level, that is fisheries innovation in the Pacific, East New Britain Industry, but also on session 4, which basically is about supporting fisheries sustainability through science. So with that, his speaking slot will be slightly longer. I would like to invite the Prime Minister, if you want to take the floor now. You will. Thank you very much, Prime Minister. Thank you very much for coming to Solomon Islands.
All right, thank you, Master of Ceremonies. Let me appreciate my brother, the Honourable Jeremy Manale, Prime Minister of Solomon Islands, your wonderful people, Premier of Guadalcanal, Chiefs of Guadalcanal. Thank you for your wonderful welcome this morning through the traditional proceedings. And I want to join my two brother Prime Ministers in acknowledging all of you who are gathered here, especially all our continued support we receive from UN family organizations or our bilateral partner organizations. I also acknowledge European Union, one of our biggest buyers of our products in fisheries, up in front with us. Ladies and gentlemen, I will keep my conversation short and a little bit unstructured, if you don't mind. And I want to acknowledge all the ministers, hardworking ministers of our Forum Island nations. Thank you very much for your continued stewardship of our important resource. I arrived into my country's leadership in 2019. The first PIF I attended was at Whanafuti at Tuvalu. Climate change was a major issue. Illegal fishing, etc. was issues at the time. And sad to say that we're still discussing these issues 6 years on. We're still discussing these issues 6 years on. When we talk about sustainability, and I am happy I was at the last PIF when General Secretary His Excellency Guterres came and spoke that Pacific Islanders are great examples of stewardship on resources and ocean. The conversation on stewardship really, in my view, should not be mentioned here. Should not be mentioned here. Pacific Island member nations are great stewards of ocean resources. They have minimal carbon footprint on the face of planet Earth. They experience, they're the first that our SIDs experience sea level rise that affects them and their economies and their people. Papua New Guinea is a big land nation, but we have over 600 small islands in our country. Nissen and Catharas and Modlok were the first to be recognized as climate change refugees some 5, 6, 7 years ago. We have been stewards of our oceans, yet we are unfairly victim of climate change, global temperature rise, a result that is born from industrialization. I give you one story, and I have only 2 stories before I summarize and sit down. In one of my beautiful towns called Medang, once upon a time it was named one of the most beautiful towns in Pacific. Sit it out in lagoon, surrounded by many, many islands. There was a Japanese tourist who was also enjoying the shade of the afternoon with the cool breeze coming in. And he observed a canoe coming in, paddled by a husband and a wife, young couple. The canoe comes in, and only 2 of them. Canoe was quite large, but they came out with only two bundles of fish. They came out and they sold the fish. Mr. FAO, food, fish. After selling them, they went and sat under the same shade of the tree where the Japanese tourist was sitting. And the Japanese tourist asked him, "My friends, I really enjoyed watching you to paddle in. But you have big canoe. How comes only small fish to sell? And the couple, the husband got up and said, what for? What for? Oh, you make money. What for? I'm okay. Enough for me. The ocean still keeps my fish for tomorrow. I can fish again for tomorrow sale, and I'm okay. Sustainability has been part of Pacific life for centuries. We've traveled high oceans for centuries. We've managed our fish stock for centuries. The ocean is our supermarket. The ocean is our garden. The ocean is our life. No one needs to lecture us on fish sustainability. It is our lifestyle. This lecture should be taken to the big industrial polluters on the face of planet Earth and those who have sponsors or their countries a host of illegal fishing that comes out and plunder our oceans every time. Because they are the one causing non-sustainability of ocean resource in our part of the world. The Pacific Ocean is the biggest space on the face of planet Earth. Leaders of our Pacific acknowledge this is a global asset, global resource. That is why they carved out the Blue Pacific continent, the Blue Pacific strategy, to ensure we are compliant to SDG number 14. By the way, SDG number 14 arrived later. My Pacific people practice sustainable fisheries for millennium of years. Is that okay? They practice sustainable fisheries. SDG 14 arrived in 2015. As we march to 2030, I wonder how many SDGs all nations on the face of the planet, especially the big polluters, the big holders of carbon footprint, USA, China, Japan, India, Europe, all of you are partners sitting here with us. You have caused sea level rise, not my Pacific. And if there is any sense of morality left in you, take this message back to your countries. The ocean, a big asset of planet Earth, that is a carbon sink, that is a supermarket, that is a superhighway for all your ship and submarines, needs help. And in the context of fisheries, please assist us. Assist us with technology to stop illegal fishing. That is depleting our fish. I joined my two brothers who advocate earlier for us to subscribe to living below 1.5 degrees Celsius. That is chasing our fish away from our Pacific Ocean. We have been practicing sustainable fisheries for so long. I tell you another story. The reason why we are together in this, one Pacific in this, is because fish is a migratory species. I'm no expert in fish. My minister, the Honourable Jelta Wong, is a strong advocate of this, is an expert in fisheries sitting amongst in my cabinet. Fish is a migratory species. I'll tell you my last story about something that happened in a northern town of PNG called BINANCE. There was a soldier from the eastern part of my country, a Polynesian-looking soldier, who goes out every afternoon fishing. The villagers also go out and fish, my three brothers, but the Polynesian-looking guy comes out, he's from Samarai, we call the place Samarai. He comes out with the biggest catch every day. And the locals complain, you brought your black magic to fish in the waters, and you're getting more catch than we are getting the catch. Can you stop fishing? And his response, they took him out to a village court. The community came around and they said, you better stop fishing in the waters. And he said, hang on, I don't go out with my hooks. I go out with my spears. And every time I'm diving inside, I ignore fish that belongs to your part of the country, and I only shoot fish that belongs to my part of the country. He understood the concept of fish as a migratory species. And so we are in this together. Fish migrate from one water to another. I want to point on some statistics. I asked this question myself. I became Prime Minister in 2019, and I'm still here. My special forte is fighting for my country's resources, and that includes fish. My GDP per capita is amongst the lowest, maybe because I got over 10 million people living in a big island country. But even then, the volume of resources in my country, including fish, cannot make me remain penniless or poor in my own ocean or in my own country. PNG is amongst the lowest per capita. But PNG aside, PNG's got 10 million people, so maybe the mathematics equals out with the ratio of my population. But I pick, and I became Prime Minister 2019. This is 2018 statistics. I deliberately brought up 2018 statistics so that each of you, Pacific Island leaders, Forum Secretariat, my brother, His Excellency Wanga, not everybody outside but us, go back to your respective countries and check your statistics. Kiribati, my brothers from Kiribati, I sympathize with you. Maybe your statistics has improved. You have the biggest EEZ in our country, in our Forum Island nations. Kiribati's EEZ, my eyes are falling on me now. I just want these numbers to ring home something in our mind. 3.5 million square kilometers. Second is Papua New Guinea at 3.1 square kilometers. The statistics, this is a World Bank statistics. Kiribati, with only 116,000 people in 2018, your per capita GDP stood at $1,625. Now I ask this question, why? Big fish, big resources, supermarket, super ocean, where resources are harvested. Why are you amongst the lowest? Why are we amongst the lowest in the world, so to speak? Is it because we are SID? I beg to differ. We are a big ocean nation. Whilst we're a small island state, we are a big ocean nation, and I rally the consciousness of every Pacific Island leaders to rise up and fight for our resources. Let us not be lectured on sustainable development. We are practitioners of sustainable development. It is time all of you are partners on the table. China, Australia, our own Australia, you help us, I want to say thank you. USA, Japan, Philippines, Indonesia, Thailand, stop your illegal fisheries in our waters. Stop it. Hello, any Pacific Islanders listening out there? Stop illegal fishing by these illegal fishers who come out from these nations. Because they exacerbate unsustainable fisheries in our waters. Solomon Island doesn't have the capacity to plunder Solomon Island waters. Papua New Guinea doesn't have the capacity to plunder my waters, let alone Pacific. All the small island nations do not have capacity to plunder their oceans. The plunder is taking place by illegal fishers, and I want to ask United Nations, advocate for stopping of illegal fishing in our waters. Papua New Guinea is going out sinking boats now. If I catch illegal fishing in my country, I will sink all the boats. I will sink all the boats. I've signed up defense cooperation with USA already. A bigger part of the intent is to assist with US military to sink all illegal fishing in my waters. And I speak as the second biggest holder of EEZ in this family of nations. So let's stop illegal fishing. That will, in a big way, cease the plunder of resources and enable us to have sustainable fisheries management in our Pacific. Secondly, and only second, let's use our combined muscle to continue and advocate for climate change issues and for temperature to be contained so we can remain a good habitat for tuna. For we are above 50% of tuna producers on the face of planet Earth and other marine resources that is contained in our blue Pacific continent. I want to say the East New Britain Initiative is nothing but all about sustainable resource management. The export of unregulated fish out of our waters must stop. For PNG, one day soon, at September 16 this year, we will announce that no catch in our waters leaves our waters. All catch will be brought back into our country to be assessed and processed in our country. For the Melanesian nations like Solomon Islands, Vanuatu, Fiji, where we have sufficient land, let us rally. East New Britain Initiative is all about giving land to our Micronesian and Polynesian, especially Micronesian, the PNA nations who may have fish, but they need land to process their fish. It is about time these foreign nations move towards stopping export of direct fish and process in our own countries. And together we can monitor how much we catch and how much we export to the world market out there that needs food the greatest. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Honourable Prime Minister, for the powerful